From the Cup-87 in Hamilton, Ontario, TSN presents the Labatt Canada Cup 87. Tonight's Team Sweden versus Team USA. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Hamilton, Ontario. I'm Jim Van Horn, and we're just about set to go for this very important hockey game between the United States and the national team from Sweden. The winner of this game tonight takes over first place in the round-robin tournament because Canada is in first with 3 points after a 4-1 win over Finland last night here in Hamilton. A very important game. Both clubs are primed and ready. And with more on tonight's contest, let's take you to Peter Watts and Gary Green.
Well, you know, this Swedish team, I think, are for real. Certainly they showed that on Saturday night against the Soviets. Defensively, they played a very strong game, keeping that third man high at all times. They showed discipline, they showed intensity, and above all, they showed some aggressiveness. You got to remember that hit by Albolin right on Krutov. Krutov is still seeing a few stars from that one. Not only did they play well, but their goaltender especially, Lindmark, I think he's for real. Deserve a shot in the National Hockey League. Peter?
Speaking of goaltending, Gary, John Van Beesbroek Friday night in Hartford. He will have to play even better against a Swedish team that appears to be much stronger than the Finns were in their opening test. On the blue line, Rod Langway of the Washington Capitals. Time, the Americans may be the best defensive team in this tournament. Langway will have to play well if the Americans are to prevail. And up front, they need the scoring of Pat LaFontaine. He got 2 goals to Finland last Friday. He will have to do at least as well again tonight against Sweden.
Petro-Canada Play Ball, the sponsorship program for and softball players across Canada, presents Play Ball Skill Tips. Great for anyone who play ball. Tips cover all the bases. Learn the basics of throwing, catching, and much more from Major League players. Take tips from Jesse Barfield himself, and catch a few words of wisdom from Hall of Famers Duke Snider and Claude Raymond. Watch for it all during all the big games exclusively on TS.
Your face takes enough abuse, so Gillette introduces the new Good News Plus disposable. It's Lubricant reduce irritation, so shaving feels so good. Good News Plus.
The NFL comes to TSN live this fall. TSN is to the NFL when the Minnesota Vikings tackle the Denver Broncos Thursday, September the 3rd. The NFL live on TSN.
The Labatt Canada Cup 87. Welcome back to the Cup-87 in Hamilton, the United States against Sweden. I'm Peter Watts with Gary Green and Jim Van Horn. Forward to a good hockey game tonight. Second game in the tournament for both teams. And we are about set for the official opening ceremonies down at center ice.
And now introducing the members of the official party for tonight's ceremonial face-off. Canadian Tire is a proud supporter of sports for people of all ages in communities right across this country, from the Canadian Amateur Hockey Association to the Calgary 1988 Olympic Winter Games. Representing the grassroots of hockey is Ryan Gibney of the Ted Reeve Hockey Association of Toronto. And representing figure skating, Rob McCall and Tracy Wilson, the third-ranked world pairs. Representing Canadian Tire is Don Buttering, tire dealer. And representing the sponsor of the Labatt Canada Cup is Jerry Huska, promotions coordinator for Ontario Breweries. Now can we have the team captains please to center ice for the ceremonial face-off.
It's the 1987 Labatt Canada Cup.
I got you. I know, I got you.
You got 88 Toyota trucks coming in.
And 87s are still here.
So I'll take this Toyota off your hands if...
You give me a real deal. Yeah, make me a deal right now.
'Cause, I don't have much time.
And you don't either.
Take advantage of your Toyota dealer right now because he's got to move the 87s awfully fast, and that can mean the best deals of the year.
Hey, I know I gotcha.
So get them while they still got them.
The unique Royal LePage pre-approved mortgage. With it, shopping for your dream home is a joy. Without it, shopping for a mortgage after finding a house can be a nightmare. One you can avoid with our pre-approved mortgage. We guarantee rates equal to or lower than the 5 major banks. Bypass mortgage hassles. Buy your house on the spot because you're pre-approved. Ask your Royal LePage representative about our pre-approved mortgage.
Cup-87 in Hamilton, Sweden against the United States. Game 2 for both teams in the 1987 Labatt Canada Cup. The lineups tonight brought to you by Dodge Trucks. And here is the lineup for Team Sweden facing John Van Beesbroek.
Number 12, P.Андерсson, is out of the lineup tonight. They've inserted instead number 21, Lars Gunnar Pettersson. He's a sniper. You might not see him out there for 59 minutes, and then he might burn you in the last minute.
24-year-old John Van Beesbroek of the New York Rangers. 3 years with the Sioux Greyhounds, drafted by the Rangers in the 5th round of the 1981 draft. Won the Vezina Trophy in New York in 1986. Didn't have quite as good a year last year, but then again, the Rangers didn't do quite as well last year as they did in '84. And down at the other end of the ice, Peter Lindmark in the Swedish Nets, and he'll face a very strong defensive lineup of the United States, and a couple of changes there, Gary, as well.
Well, defensively, they are good, but they're going to need some offense from Joe Mullen, number 7, and number 16, Pat LaFontaine. Those guys can both put the puck in the net. They have shown it in the National Hockey League. They're going to have to show it out here tonight for Bob Johnson for this USA team.
And there is Peter Lindmark, 31-year-old star of the elite division of the Swedish Ice Hockey Federation. 109 international games coming into this tournament. He has really blossomed in the last 3 years. 2.97 goals against average in first division play last year. And as you can see, a 3.26 goals against average in 11 games in the Canada Cup Series. So, ready to go with Vladimir Šubert of Czechoslovakia in charge of the proceedings here at the Cup-87, and play is underway. The Swedes take control in the early going, and Magnus Rupe clears the puck in behind Van Beesbroek. Kevin Hatcher from the Washington Capitals, along with Washington teammate Rod Langway on the blue line, and the Swedes show some physical play right off the bat. Gustafsson knocking his man in along the boards, and there'll be a penalty right away. Boarding is the call. Ed Olczyk is the man who's down on the ice.
Well, Olczyk is usually the guy giving out those hits. Instead, he's on the receiving end. Bent Gustafsson, who really has some capabilities of throwing some great checks out there, just landed one. However, it's an illegal one, landing him into the penalty box. There you can see now. I don't know. I think Gustafsson just put that shoulder into Olczyk.
Olczyk is being attended to by the United States training staff. This all happened at the 15-second mark of the opening period. Gustafsson is in the penalty box. And this is the Labatt Canada Cup.
No matter where you come from, or who you are, join the team against drugs. This is Jean-Billy Vaux supporting the Royal Canadian Mounted Police in bringing you this very important public service message.
Ed Olczyk of the United States team run in heavily along the boards by Benny Gustafsson. And Gustafsson is in the penalty box for boarding. All of that at the 15-second mark of the opening period. Olczyk, though, appears to be okay. He's sitting on the bench, and he'll be back in the fray momentarily. And meanwhile, the United States with the first power play opportunity of the hockey game. Phil Housley of the Buffalo Sabres tries to set it up for Otto, who has to retreat into his own zone. United States power play gets started now with Housley clearing it into the Swedish zone. Otto moves up, can't keep it in, and the puck comes back out into the neutral ice area. Suter to Housley. They're on the point for this power play by the United States. Joey Mullen takes the pass now from Suter. Mullen sets it up. Housley, first shot blocked by the defense. Eldebrink goes towards the corner. Otto has it there. Joel Otto behind the net. He's checked. Now Suter moves up and keeps it in the zone. Mullen lets it go behind the net to Otto. Mullen back out to Suter. 3 Calgary Flames on the play right now. Carpenter has got the puck at the slot. Takes the shot. Lindmark, easy save, and Anders Eldebrink flips it out and down the ice. 50 seconds left in the penalty to Ben Gustafsson. Swedes make full changes. Here's a pass up to the blue line to Joey Mullen. He tries the long shot, kicked out easily by Lindmark. Mullen slaps it in behind the net. Heavy traffic in front of the net now as the Americans circle around looking to get an opportunity to get a shot away here. Wayne Presley clears it over to Housley. He missed the net. Suter goes to the point, keeps it in. And now the Swedes control it. Naslund breaking up through the center ice area. Can't get the puck to him. And Suter blocked that shot, and Housley goes looking for the loose puck. 10 seconds left in the power play. The U.S. team across the line behind the net. LaFontaine couldn't get to it. Telvin cleared it around on the board. And the penalty is over. The Swedes are back to full strength. The puck is kept in at the line. Chelios missed the net by quite a margin. LaFontaine to the point. And now 4 Swedes break out into the center ice area. Gustafsson missed the check. Somehow the American got just a piece of him there, and he went down, and the Swedes still buzzing around. It's back to the line to Andersson. There's the shot. That's blocked by the defense. It comes back out to Telvin, and he just missed from well out. Andersson moves up, and instead the Americans slap it out into the neutral zone. Presley and Andersson, heavy pushing and shoving along the boards.
Real strength. They are very sound defensively, and when you take a look at a Mike Ramsey and a Rod Langway out there on the ice, you feel pretty good as a coach behind Team USA bench would about his defensive cores.
Bob Brook moves up to keep the play in the Swedish zone. Now the Swedes get control of it. It comes out across the line. Hatcher just threw it back in, and we get an offside.
Peter, on that power play by Team USA, we'll have to watch for that through the course of the game. They were setting a man way up. Joey Mullen was the man. They were setting him way up in that blue line. Rod Langway, one of the great defensive defensemen in the National Hockey League, a 2-time Norris Trophy winner. This man is captain of the team. That's no surprise whatsoever. He is the solid backbone of this team when it comes to the leadership on and off the ice. He'll log a lot of ice time.
Hatcher to Langway. Clears it into the Swedish zone. Eldebrink flips it right back out towards the line. Nilsson sets it up, and Thomas Rundqvist breaks into the center ice area. Nilsson's across the line, but there's an offside as Pet.Suндстрем went in a little bit too soon. And there is Badger Bob.
One of the great men in today's game, believe me. I have had an opportunity to spend a lot of time talking hockey with Bob Johnson over the years, and what an excellent move A-House has made by inserting this man as their new captain, the head of all operations in hockey in the United States. He'll do a tremendous job.
He's being assisted by Ted Sater, the head coach of the Buffalo Sabres. For Team USA, no score in the hockey game. 3.5 minutes gone in the opening period. Langway starts the Americans out once again. Lindmark will play this easily. Albalin takes a hit along the boards, clears it around. Otto intercepts, keeps it in the zone. Eldebrink tries to make the check. Olczyk in front, there's the score! Carpenter.
Well, if you remember Saturday night's game, you can also remember the Swedes were a little sloppy defensively early in the game. The Soviets scored a goal. Likewise right here as Carpenter puts that puck in from a pass from Olczyk. But look at the coverage on Carpenter. Not much of it at all. Defense, everyone were turning, looking the opposite direction. You could see number 8, Thomas Jonsson, coming in a little late, but it wasn't Jonsson's fault. Instead, it was his defense partner there, Albin, who was a little guilty.
Sodergren starts the Swedes back now out into the center ice area. Jonsson across the line, and we get a whistle on the offside. 16:07 to play in period 1. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
Good things come in small packages, and Sunday, September 6th, you won't want to miss an exciting type of auto racing. Racing on tight ovals is all these little Volks and Chevy-powered midgets can do to stay on the track. TSN continues its coverage of the Midget Racing Series with a USAC-sanctioned race from Hinsdale, Indiana. Catch the excitement Sunday, September 6th, starting at 3:30 Eastern. It's right here on TSN.
Bobby Carpenter from Ed Olczyk and Joel Otto at 3:38 of period 1 has given the United States a 1-0 lead over Sweden. And the faceoff is just outside the United States blue line.
We haven't seen a great deal of Swedish offense yet. There's the goal scorer, Bob Carpenter. He had a rough year last year, traded from the Washington Capitals to the New York Rangers, then to the Los Angeles Kings. I think you can see next year Bob Carpenter all of a sudden get things put back together again.
53 goals in the NHL 2 years ago, the first American-born player ever to score that many. His problem and his challenge may be to live up to that press clipping. Gustafsson now, nice move out of his own zone, breaks into the center ice area. Shoots it in behind the net. Van Beesbrook leaves it for Ramsey, and the United States moves smartly out of its own zone. Brook gets it up to Mullen. Mullen loses his balance on a good check by L.Kарлsson, who got the winning goal against the Soviets on Saturday in Calgary. Now it's Sodergren across the line, working towards the corner against Aaron Broughton in front of the net, and a good play there as Joey Mullen was in position to intercept it and clear it out of the zone. П.Эриксson shoots it right back in again. Ramsey up to Broughton, out into the center ice area. Phil Housley picks it up, shoots it in, and then goes to the bench as the U.S. makes a full-scale change. Gustafsson gets it out across the line. The Swedish player just missed the body check, and now we get a tripping call coming up against Wayne Presley.
Well, Presley was playing the puck and then all of a sudden ended up playing the body, but with his stick he gets a tripping call, one that will not please Coach Bob Johnson. And Wayne Presley, shaking his head in the penalty box, realized that he really made a bad error there. You do not want to give this Swedish team any opportunity on their power play.
Presley for tripping at 5 minutes even, and so the Swedish team will get its first power play opportunity of the evening. Swedes got 1 goal on the power play against the Soviet Union Saturday evening in Calgary. Eldebrink sets up behind his own net. Albelin's out there on the blue line with him. Up front, it's Naslund, Gustafsson, and K.Nilsson. So a good 5 grouping here for Team Sweden. Eldebrink fanned on the shot. Gustafsson takes charge now. Eldebrink over to Naslund. Eldebrink tees it up, tries to set it up so that Nilsson can deflect it, and instead it comes back out to the point to Alfred.
The USA team playing a good disciplined box there. They're just trying to keep the Swedish players from being able to intersect that slot area. They've got to keep them out of the slot.
Good defensive work by the United States as the Americans clear it down the ice and put fresh troops out there. Hatcher and Ramsey on the blue line. And now the Americans clear it back into the zone as Carpenter's out there now in a penalty killing role for the United States, along with Joel Otto. Gustafsson breaks through center. Big hole in the American defense there momentarily. Into the corner, Naslund is checked. And Otto gets it and shoots it down the ice. 50 seconds left in the penalty to Wayne Presley. Another quick change by the American side. ल.Карлсson having trouble with it. Now it's shot in across the line. Broughton has it there. Dumps it off the boards toward the corner. Mark Johnson just let it go. And the Swedes start out of their own zone. Sodergren leaves it there. Lundqvist, rather, is stopped at the line. Chelios clears it towards the line. It comes over to Aaron Broughton, and he shoots it down the ice, and there's 10 seconds left in the penalty to Presley. J.Onsson to ल.Карлsson. And the United States will kill this penalty effectively. The Swedes not even getting one good shot on the net. Presley is back out of the penalty box. Nilsson sidesteps the check, sets it up in the neutral ice area, makes one deep, is waiting for some people to go with him and try and make a play, and now finally they get it up through the center ice area. Swedes are having some problem getting anything going here, Gary.
Well, once again, give the USA team credit because they are good and sound defensively.
Here are the Americans coming in again. This time, however, Miller falls and the Swedes start back. Long pass on the left side for Sundstrom. Big shot. Missed the net by 2 feet, and the puck comes back out and down the ice, and Т.Йонссон has it. 12:10 to go in the first period. 1-0 for the United States on a goal by Bobby Carpenter. Sundstrom. Over to Michael Talvin. Andersson's now out there on the blue line with Talvin. Rundqvist. Talvin over to Andersson. Good forechecking by the American team. Т.Эклунд can't get in across the line. Andersson has to come back into his own zone. Albalin now dumps it towards Van Beesbroek, who promptly shoots it right back out again, and we get an offside at the line. 11:40 to go in the first period. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
Running has changed dramatically over the last 10 years, mainly because of what you put on your feet. Now, what science and technology have done for the running shoe, Mega does for the hockey skate. Mega, the first skate bioengineered to work with the foot, providing greater flexibility and faster power transfer. Mega, proven and preferred by hockey superstar Raymond Bourque. Catch up with hockey's breakaway innovation, Mega, at your nearest Micron Mega dealer.
11:40 to go in the first period from the Cup-87 in Hamilton. Game 2 for both the United States and Team Sweden in the 1987 Canada Cup.
Team USA attacking very aggressively in the neutral ice area. Not so much offensively in the Swedish zone, but in the neutral ice area, trying to stop the Swedes from carrying that puck into the USA end zone.
Tommy Т.Эклунд keeps the puck in briefly at the line, then Carpenter shoves it out. Now it's Suter. Over to Chelios, to Olczyk, who's back in the play after taking a big wrap into the boards from Gustafsson early in the first period. Olczyk tried to center it. Otto couldn't get to it. Albalin now for Sweden. Across the line, Tommy Т.Эклund's shot steered into the corner by Van Beesbroek. Pettersson kept it in. Lars Pettersson did not play against the Soviets on Saturday in the lineup in this game. Sweden keeps it in. There's a big save by Van Beesbroek. Chelios clears it. Suter comes back to help out. 3 Swedish players lying in the area of the United States net. And we have some stick work behind the play. And down at the other end, meanwhile, the Americans had a 3-on-2 and messed it up on an offside.
Well, I don't know what happened to Team USA's defensive understanding in their own end zone, but it sure went out the window. Take a look. All that you had back there was number 24, Chris Chelios. Where's everybody else? Oh, they come, but way too late. 3 Swedish players right in front of John Van Beesbroek. Van Beesbroek must have wondered, where did my teammates go here?
Tommy Sandlin, the coach of the Swedish team, looking on. His team trailing by a goal with 10:46 to play in the first period. And the face-off will be outside the Swedish blue line as you look at Chris Nyland of the Montreal Canadiens.
Let him out in the ice, Bob Johnson, and you may see some fireworks here. I know that every player on the Swedish team knows Chris Nyland very well.
L.Kарлsson back behind his own net. J.Onsson throws it up through the center ice area. Housley stopped it there. Mullen sets it up. And now the Americans cross the line once again with the good shot coming from Mark Johnson. Mullen keeps it in. Rupe trying to get a whistle along the boards, it would appear. The Americans dig it free. It comes back out to Housley at the line. And Broughton has to come back out to center. Aaron Broughton shoots it in. Т.Арлсson around on the boards. Funny bounce. It comes into the slot area, but nobody can really get a good shot at it. And finally, Gustafsson. Strange kind of play in his own zone, right in front of his own net, but he keeps control, gets it out to J.Onsson. Naslund can't handle it. Then he gets it by LaFontaine, takes a hit, but stays on his skates, and Langway now takes over for the Americans. Not many shots so far. There have only been half a dozen in the first period. And we have 9 minutes and 40 seconds to go here. As the Swedes get it to the line, but not out. Hatcher shoots it right back into the corner. LaFontaine can't get free. Kelly Miller moves up, working against J.Onsson. Quarters are close along the boards, and finally J.Onsson kicks it loose to Naslund. Up to Gustafsson. Nilsson on the left side. Finally gets the pass across ice, looking for Sundstrom, who just came off the bench. And the Americans break it up and shoot it out to center. P.Andersson. To Sundstrom, back into his own zone to Michael Talbot. Andersson now in the center ice area, shoots it into the U.S. zone. Van Beesbroek cleared it back to the line, not out. Talbot tees it up, his shot goes into the corner. Nilsson has it there to Sundstrom. Run in on the boards by Bob Brook, but the Swedes keep control, and then they have to come back out to center ice, where Andersson is under pressure from Wayne Presley. Andersson to Michael Talbot. Sundstrom now shoots it back in behind his own net. Delayed penalty coming up to the United States. Lindmark is on the bench. And finally the Swedes shoot it out and down the ice, and Van Beesbroek touches it. And we get a penalty. 8:22 to go in the first period. This is the Labatt Canada
Cup. Tuesday on the Sports Network. Live at 12 and 7:30, Grand Slam tennis action from the U.S. Open in Flushing Meadow, New York. Then at 4, the Masters of Disaster meet, the greatest in man action, AWA Wrestling. 10:30, live from the legendary Candlestick Park, the Expos meet the Giants. And that's all on TSN, where every day this week you can enjoy great tennis action from the U.S. Open in Flushing Meadow, New York.
Wayne Presley back in the penalty box again. 2 minutes for slashing is the call. That's not exactly the place where Bob Johnson wants him, and especially with an undisciplined slash like that. You don't need that type of act in international hockey. You can get burned easily. Got to maintain your discipline when you're playing in Canada Cup.
So Sweden on the power play for the second time in the period. Karlsson's shot does not get through. Sodergren kept it in at the line. Karlsson tries again to Sodergren into the corner. Good physical work in there by the American defenders. It comes around on the boards and kept in at the line. Karlsson. Sodergren. Sodergren gets free briefly. Gets the puck once again. Loses it. It comes back in behind the net to Bergquist. Karlsson. Over to Sodergren. Back out to the line. Karlsson, big shot. And they try for the deflection, and Anders Karlsson just missed. Good play there to keep the puck in at the line, and now they get a whistle.
Big Joel Otto thought that he might do a little bit of intimidation there as he rubbed his glove in one of the Swedish players' face. Otto escapes it unharmed as far as penalties go. Otto, with his size, certainly can be a great attribute to this team. He's 6'4", 220 pounds. He has got tremendous reach, especially out in front of that net area. But when he is coming back checking as well, he can lay that stick on you. And believe me, with his size and strength, you'll feel that stick.
A late bloomer, perhaps, signed as a free agent by Cliff Fletcher and the Calgary Flames in September of 1984. And he has become a very valuable member of the Calgary Hockey Club. And right now he's on the bench for the brief rest, as there's 1 minute and 17 seconds left in the penalty to Wayne Presley. This program is protected by copyright. Any use of this telecast without permission is prohibited.
Ron Finn's over there trying to establish some discipline on face-offs. Kevin Hatcher wasn't sure he wanted to oblige.
Back to the line now. Here's P.Andersson with the good shot. And the Swedish player knocked down in front of the net. That was Eriksson. And he actually stopped that shot before it got through to Van Beesbroek. Lindmark clears it around on the boards. And Andersson, big rangy defenseman for Team Sweden, works his way to center. Has to come back out and wait for teammates to get back on side.
You watch P.Andersson tonight, number 19. I can't believe this guy can't play in the National Hockey League. He really was unsuccessful in his attempt with the Washington Capitals.
The first souvenir of the night goes up into the end seats behind John Van Beesbroek.
Andersson at 6'3", 209 pounds. Now, he's only 25 years of age. He, along with Michael Telvin, number 27, his defense partner, have been the best defense pairings this Swedish national team have had.
Here is Eriksson in front of the net as he takes a pounding there from Hatcher, I believe it was.
Van Beesbroek had a tough time seeing that puck. However, he was fortunate. He didn't have to end up making the save.
Under 7 minutes to play in the first period. It is the United States 1, Sweden 0. The goal by Bobby Carpenter of the Los Angeles Kings. And now the Swedes break in with Nilsson taking the shot and missing the far post by perhaps 6 inches. Naslund missed a body check, stays on his skates. Nice piece of work by Mats Naslund, working against his old Canadian teammate Chris Chelios. Back out to the line to Eldebrink. Naslund. Cross-ice pass. Here's the big shot, and that just missed. That off the stick of L.Kарлsson. Naslund keeps it in the corner. Nilsson moves up to help. Back out to the line. Here's a chance now for Eldebrink. Presley is back on the ice. Presley breaks down into the center ice area. It's a 2-on-1, and they get the call by the Soviet linesman, Galadon. We're delighted you could join us at the Cup-87 in Hamilton. I'm Peter Watts with Gary Green and Jim Van Horn, and we're bringing you the 1987 Labatt Canada Cup. Sweden in the gold and blue against the red, white, and blue-clad United States team. The Americans with a 1-0 lead. Miller works towards the corner, but the Swedes get there first and clear it out into the center ice area. Phil Housley shoots it off the boards, back into the Swedish zone. Sundstrom has it there, took a hit, got the puck up along the boards though. Rundqvist, nice drop pass. Here's the trailer, Andersson shoots, and he missed the net. Telvin keeps it in at the line. Swedes with some good chances, but a little bit erratic, especially from well out, and they've messed up some good scoring plays. No better example than that last one by Andersson, who now moves up and makes a big hit there on Wayne Presley. Telvin played it up into the zone, then went back to get it in his own end of the rink. Lindmark clears it off the boards and out to center. Sundstrom takes a hit, and play a little bit scrambly right now, and we get an offside as Presley was a little slow to get out of the Swedish zone. There you can just barely make out the visage of Mr. Lou Nanne, general manager of the Minnesota North Stars, general manager of Team USA. And he will be talking to Jim Van Horn in the second intermission of this hockey game. 5:20 to play in the first period. 1-0 for the United States. Each team with a victory so far in the tournament. The Americans beat Finland Friday in Hartford. The Swedes upset the Soviets Saturday in Calgary. Albalin makes a nice play to get it in across the line, and then Eldebrink can't get the shot, and the puck comes back out to center. Bergqvist. And Team Sweden really a little bit sloppy in its own zone.
Well, watch, Chris Nyland's out there. Now, he's like a bull in a china shop when he's out there forechecking. He'll hit anything in sight. Doesn't matter.
Sodergren works across the line. Sweden nearly got free, and now we get a penalty to Bob Brook for tripping. Eldebrink was breaking for the net, and Bob Brook held him down, and Vladimir Schubert had about as easy a call as he will get. There's the play right there.
Peter, not a very disciplined play once again by Team USA. Now, Brook, all he needed to do was skate a little bit, could have caught up. When you look at Team USA's penalties, when you consider slashing and tripping, those are not things that are considered to be good penalties. Just a few moments before that, watch Rod Langway on Karlsson. Now, I love Rod Langway as a hockey player, but that does not mean that Rod Langway is allowed to strangle anybody out there with his hockey stick. Karlsson may have a few slivers in his throat after that maneuver.
15:23, the time of that penalty to Bob Brook of the United States. So the Swedes now with their third power play opportunity of the first period. And we have a small break in the action here. While there's a slight delay, we'll take a break. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
TSN continues major excitement from the major leagues through the month of September. 10 big Blue Jay games, 8 Expo contests, plus Saturday afternoons, it's the game of the week. Join Fergie Ulver and Buck Martinez on the road with the Jays or Jim Houston with Kenny Singleton for all the Expo games. On deck, the Expos visit San Francisco to battle the Giants live from Candlestick Park. It's Tuesday, starting at 10:30 p.m. Eastern on TSN.
There's a little problem with the glass and the boards along the east end of the arena. And it appears now that the officials have, oh, you can see it clearly there. The doors aren't quite closed properly. And that could be potentially dangerous.
Well, you throw that puck around the boards smoothly, it hits that angle that is jutting out from those end boards. You may get a few crazy hops.
Face-off now to the left of John Van Beesbroek. 4:37 to go in the first period. Chelios having trouble with it. Finally gets control behind his own net and shoots it out and down the ice. Bob Brook in the penalty box for tripping. And the Swedes on their third power play of the period. They have not been terribly effective with the man advantage. Let's see what they can do here. Not very much on that opportunity. Ramsey slaps it down to Lindmark. L.Kарлsson. J.Jonsson moving into the center ice area. Johnson drops it back. Here's the shot, and that's blocked. And now the Americans, with Carpenter killing the penalty, work it out to Joel Otto. Johnson takes it away from him, shoots it back into the zone. Lars Pettersson works against Chelios, and I would say Chelios won that battle easily. T.Eklund now moves up. J.Karlsson back out to the line. Here's Anders Carlson. Over to Jonsson. There's the shot. That stopped easily, and the Americans clear it out to center.
Well, no one said that Lars Gunnar Pettersson was tough, but he has got the capabilities of putting that puck in the net, and that's why he was obviously out there in that last shift. Didn't look too confident, though, standing in front of the net, where he may have gotten chopped down.
Peter Anderson sets it up. Here's Gustafsson in across the line. Magnus Rupe works against Langway. And Chelios on the right side now will try and get it out of the zone. Gustafsson moves up, makes the check, has control behind the net. Chelios after him there. Rupe controls. Dumps it back in behind. Langway takes his man out. There's a close-in chance in the crease, and Van Beesbroek had to be sharp. The Swedes keep it in briefly. Now the Americans get it out to center. Aaron Broughton was knocked down. And I think we're going to get a penalty there against the Swedes.
Well, I believe it's cross-checking has been the call, and it's to number 27, Telvin. Telvin with the Boston Bruins has been for the last couple of years.
(17:11) the time of the cross-checking penalty to Michael Telvin of Team Sweden. Still 13 seconds left in the U.S. penalty to Bob Brook. And then the Americans will go on the power play. That time a couple of scoring opportunities for the Swedes, but they certainly aren't showing the crispness that they showed on offense in the first period against the Soviets on Saturday. Now it will be Anders Eldebrink for Team Sweden working his way to center. Clears it towards Van Beesbroek. He leaves it for Phil Housley. Around on the boards, Brook back on the ice and knocked it into his own players bench, and play is called once again with 2.5 minutes to play in the first period.
Now Bob Brook from the Minnesota North Stars, 26 years of age. He's a big man as well, and the USA team are not short of some big men out there. Bob Brook, 6'2", 205 pounds. He was in the New York Ranger uniform. They're utilizing him a little bit at defense, a little bit up front. He is settled into a forward position.
Rundqvist taking the face-off. And the puck goes back to Chelios. Now it is Suter starting out of his own zone. Make that Mark Johnson. LaFontaine has it. Chelios has to knock it out of the zone. Johnson has it there. That's broken up by Albalin. And they get it across to Rundqvist. Chelios looking to make a play. Gets it up on the right side now to Presley. Out to center. LaFontaine. Good move. 3-on-1 break. LaFontaine works his way towards the net. Gets in too close now and has to go in behind. There is Johnson loose in the slot. It comes back to Chelios at the line. He keeps it into the corner. Good scoring opportunity there. But the United States just could not take advantage of a 3-on-1 break. LaFontaine works towards the corner. There's a chance right on by Presley, and Lindmark stood his ground, and Sundstrom clears it out to center. Chelios with a minute and a half to go in the first period. In across the line. The Swedes break out. Now here's a breakaway for the Swedes. Anders-Karlsson right in. Anders-Karlsson, what a save, Van Beesbroek. Brilliant goalkeeping by John Van Beesbroek. Playing along the boards. And the long pass off a Swedish stick now goes up into the stands. Brilliant play by John Van Beesbroek.
Well, with Team USA on a power play, that is not the type of defensive hockey Bob Johnson was looking for. Watch that maneuver here by Karlsson. He tried to go to his backhand, put it up and over Van Beesbroek, but was not successful. Van Beesbroek just did the splits, got that left toe over in time, and still had good posture there in the crease.
21 seconds left in the Swedish penalty to Michael Talbot. A minute 10 to go in the first period. It is still 1-0 for the United States on the Bobby Carpenter goal. Thanks in large part to John Van Beesbroek with a brilliant save there on Anders-Karlsson. Now the Americans break in 3-on-2. The puck is shot around on the boards. Housley at the line, cannot keep it in, and everybody has to come back out to center. Mullen took a hit, but made the play. There's a chance that Otto just deflected it wide of the net. Now the Swedes control once again, and Team Sweden breaks out to center. Telvin back on the ice, sets it up in the slot area. Here's a chance for Eklund, and the Swedes cannot get a free shot, and now Housley comes back. Mullen with Housley. Backhand is passed in front, and nobody could get a shot at Lindmark. And here come the Swedes now with 20 seconds to play in the period. Telvin works his way in across the line, flips it towards the net. Eklund tried to put a stick on it and deflected and couldn't. And here is Joey Mullen out into the center ice area. 10 seconds left in the period. The Swedes break it up again. Magnus Rupe across the line, sets it up in the slot. Mullen has it there, and that will do it for period number 1. It's the United States 1 and Sweden nothing.
Well, John Van Beesbroek played as well as he could be expected under not great offense by the Swedish team. However, the Swedes started coming on stronger at the end, and once again Van Beesbroek with the best save of the period on Karlsson.
So it is the U.S. 1 and Sweden nothing, and this is the Labatt Canada Cup.
Where Team USA is leading Team Sweden by a score of 1-0 on a goal by Bob Carpenter early in the first period. The captain of Team USA is also the captain of the Washington Capitals in the NHL, Rod Langway. I think you really have managed to keep the Swedes off their game in that first period. You didn't allow them to do anything in your zone.
No, that's true. I think we're forwards are coming back, and they more or less did what we're doing tonight against Russia, where we stood up 4 across, and we just put the one-man pressure when they hit our blue line. And it seems like they've been really coughing the puck up and throwing the puck in, and that's not the Swedes that throw the puck in their own zone.
And it's also a very physical style of play, something that they did not encounter against the Soviets the other night.
No, I think we're making more of the contact, and they're coming back at us in frustration, but we still got to respect their speed and their puck control. We gave them a couple opportunities on the shorthanded breakaway that we were kind of a little bit tired out there, and they caught us flat-footed, and they got down, but Johnny made a great stop. But we got to keep doing the same thing, is throwing the puck in and let their defensemen go chase the puck and get themselves tired.
Ted Sater said earlier today that it was important that you get good goaltending from John Van Beesbroek, and that one save late in the first period really just picked you up.
Oh, that's for sure. I think to do anything in this tournament or in the playoffs in the NHL, you got to have great goaltending and great defense. And right now we're getting both, and we just got to realize we got to win the game 2-1 and 1-0, hopefully.
There's been talk that this team is not offensively oriented, but there's also been talk that this is the best USA team that's played in the Canada Cup.
Yeah, I think so. This is my 3rd time around, and I think this is the best club we have, best defense and best goaltending. But we're still missing Brian Trottier and Brian Lawton and Mark Howe, of course. And if we had those type of players with us, we would be a real contender.
Now, there's been some talk that these players are not here because they may be a little apathetic towards the Canada Cup. It's not a big tournament in the States, therefore they feel that maybe they really don't have to play in it.
I don't believe that. I think Brian Trottier was at the game against Finland in Hartford, and he didn't have to drive 2.5 hours to come watch us play. And I know Mark Howe, he can't even play golf. So I know these type of players would play if they were healthy, and I think their best interest is, for themselves and for their home club.
Certainly in the summertime, if you can't play golf, that's going to be a pretty serious injury.
That's true.
the win over Finland. It was your first in 9 against that national team. It's a good way for you guys to start things off.
I think so. But the thing that I think we did so well is a penalty kill, and we stopped their power play, and we wore them down, come down to the third period, and then we get some great goals by Pat LaFontaine and some great defensive plays by Chelios and Suda, and that turned the game around for us.
They're not hearing footsteps out here yet. I would imagine if you take the body a little more, they would be. Would that continue to be your game plan for the next 2 periods?
I think so. I think we've got to realize that we've got to slow them down somehow. And when we have the opportunity to hit them and maybe shove them into the boards, we've got to do that. And we've got to pay the price when we have the opportunity to make some great plays. And we had some great opportunities. Patty had a 3-on-1, and their defenseman made a great play on him to delay him, and he didn't have a passing lane. So if we can just wait and be patient to get the opportunities, we'll get a couple more goals.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Ron Langway, captain of Team USA here at the Canada Cup. We'll be back with more from the Coliseum in Hamilton. This is Labatt's Canada Cup 87.
It's the United States 1 and Sweden nothing after 20 minutes of play at the Coliseum in Hamilton. And a pretty good first period it was between the United States and Team Sweden. You know, Ben Gustafsson, Gary, was perhaps the best Swedish player at the World Championships in Vienna last April. And he started off this Canada Cup tournament like he's going to prove that was no fluke.
Well, I said it the other night, and I'll say it again, because I had an opportunity to coach Ben Gustafsson in Washington for a couple of years. The guy has got lots of abilities. If he'd only do it consistently, game in and game out, he would be great. But he is a tough Swedish hockey player, as is shown right here. Now, I don't think he deserved a penalty in this case. He just put his shoulder very early, first shift of the game, into Ed Olczyk, threw Olczyk off balance. I don't think Olczyk was expecting Gustafsson to lay that type of a body check, but Gustafsson, since he has been back in Sweden, has really put some more upper body strength on. He could be awesome this year in the National Hockey League.
We've talked about the fact the United States is concerned about its capacity to score goals. One of the people who, if he can score, will be a real bonus for them is Bobby Carpenter. He got the only goal of the first period.
Well, he didn't score too many goals during the course of the regular season this year, going to 3 teams, but this time he showed he has got great hands. He gets that pass out from Olczyk, just pops it home right away. Poor defensive coverage here. I had said that it was Albelin. It wasn't Albelin. It was Karlsson, and then you could see Thomas J.Onsson coming in from behind. Left Carpenter all alone out there. That's not the type of defensive coverage that the Swedes used against the Soviets.
Okay, we have one more highlight to show you from the first period. It concerns Ben Gustafsson again, and it wasn't a play that I thought was terribly smooth, particularly where he committed it.
Well, just watch Gustafsson. He is way up in the top corner here. He's got possession of the puck. Watch him. He's going to pass it to himself here. This guy's got more magic than Doug Henning has. He can really do a lot of things with the puck, Peter.
1-0 for Team Sweden. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
Coliseum evenly divided about who they're cheering for. We're all set to go for the second period. Let's go back to the magician and Peter Watts. Take it away, guys.
Thank you, Jim. 40 minutes of hockey still to play in this preliminary round competition. The United States against Team Sweden. The Americans with a 1-0 lead. Bobby Carpenter got the goal. And the rest of the USA team just now filing onto the ice here at the Coliseum.
It'll be interesting to see whether Team Sweden comes out in the second period maybe with a little bit more of an aggressive approach. They seem to be laying back a lot in that first period. Now, mind you, they outshot Team USA 7-6, but I don't think that was really indicative of the best scoring opportunities other than the great save by Van Beesbroek.
Speaking of Van Beesbroek, there he is in the nets. And he was the starter in Hartford last Friday night against the Finns. Played very well. Wasn't tested too often by the Finnish team, which has showed a lot of individual skills, but not very much team play in this tournament. Van Beesbroek again made the save of the period and perhaps of the tournament that I've seen so far on L.Kарлsson. And down on the other end is Peter Lindmark, who had only 6 stops to make in the first period. And he made 5 of them. There is Ted Sater, coach of the Buffalo Sabres, assistant coach to this U.S. national team.
When I talked to Ted Sater this morning, he definitely stressed one thing, and that was, once again, they've got to play the man out there. He realized that Sweden were pretty good defensively in seeing the game against the Soviets. He just hoped his guys could come up with as good an effort as they did the other night.
Play underway now in Langway in the center ice area. Now it is Carpenter steering it in towards Lindmark. Rupe lets it go off the boards, and here is Naslund coming out into the center ice area and shooting it into the zone. Gustafsson works against Langway, kept in at the line, and then shot out to center. Here is Ed Olczyk across the line, and we get an offside call at the line. The Labatt player of the game for Sweden will receive a set of 10 Olympic coins, compliments of Canadian Tire, an official supplier to the Calgary 1988 Olympic Winter Games, and a few dreams along the way. Canadian Tire.
Big P.Andersson there on the bench, looking at his teammate, and again, one of the strong defensemen for the Swedish national team.
Karlsson checked behind the net. Here's Presley now buzzing around, looking to make a centering pass. Karlsson took it away from him. Jönsson now chops it out towards the line. Sundstrom can't get out, and the puck goes back into the corner where Lars Karlsson has it. Coliseum in Hamilton. Michael Talbot on the blue line now with P.Andersson, and Andersson shoots it into the U.S. zone. Then Bergquist is up to make contact and keep it in. Bergquist now can't get to it. And the U.S. a little slow to get out now. The Swedes are buzzing around a little bit, trying to play the body a little bit more. Now they get out into the center ice area, and Michael Talbot does a good job to keep it away from an American defender. Johnson shoveled it in across the line. Andersson shoots it off the glass and can't get out. Andersson over to Talbot. Shoots it down the ice, and that'll be icing.
Well, it's not often the Swedish players are undisciplined enough to take an icing penalty such as that. Talbot knew he was not over the red line yet, just dumped that puck in far. Bring it all the way back into the Swedish end zone. Talbot has been a player that has come to the Boston Bruins, and the Bruins have not been characteristically really a great believer in bringing in European hockey players.
Here's what's coming up later on this week in the Canada Cup. Canada and the United States here at Cops on Wednesday night, and Sweden against Czechoslovakia. And our next telecast will be from Sydney, Nova Scotia next Sunday afternoon. Fraser. Langway now. Eklund has it. Anders Eldebrink up into the center ice area. It's shot into the American zone once again. Eklund goes after it. Brook is run in on the boards by P.Эриксson. Eklund tries to get free. Brook knocked him down, and meanwhile behind the net, Langway has his man draped in on the boards, and play is called.
One thing that may have helped the Swedish hockey club is that they went to training camp in an NHL-sized arena just outside of Stockholm. They have an arena that has the same dimensions of an ice surface as the NHL rink. So they were holding their training camp on the exact same ice surface as they were going to be playing on, and it may have been a help to them.
You think this game fits into the pattern of play that the United States would like to establish in this tournament?
I think the U.S. team are playing just as they are capable of right now. Pretty sound defensively. They're not going to score a lot of goals in this tournament, but they do have to have one thing, and Bob Johnson said it this morning. They've got to have great goaltending, and Van Beesbrook was his man once again tonight. I think you'll see most teams in this tournament, if their goalie plays well, they'll stick to a one-man system. I doubt very much whether Mike Keenan will change things unless Grant Fuhr really plays poorly, and that would be very uncharacteristic of Grant Fuhr.
17:38 to go in the second period. The United States won. Sweden no score. It's Joel Otto against Ben Gustafsson, and the U.S. controls the face-off and shoots it out to center and down the ice. Now, will we get an icing or an offside here? It is an offside. 17:26 to go. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
Your face takes enough abuse, so Gillette introduces the new Good News Plus disposable. Its Luber-Smooth strip is designed to reduce irritation, so shaving feels so good. New Good News Plus.
Strength, endurance, and flexibility. Bodies in Motion features aerobics, dance, and calisthenics. Get in shape or stay in shape. Bodies in Motion is weekdays at 7:30 and 11:30 a.m. Eastern.
It will be Ben Gustafson against Joel Otto on this face-off just inside the U.S. blue line. Otto out there with Carpenter and Ed Olczyk. Olczyk moves to make the check. The Swedes clear it into the U.S. zone. Ramsey flips it out and down the ice. And Karlsson gets by a check. It's kept in at the line. The United States controls. Olczyk threw it across for Housley. Now Otto with the shot. They score!
Number 26, Ed Olczyk, just neatly deflected that puck right by Peter Lindmark. Good effort here by Olczyk. He throws the puck all the way across the front of the net. Who picks it up? But number 29, Otto. Just a nice tip by Olczyk. Where were the Swedish defense? Well, that's something that Tommy Sandlin will be asking, no doubt, when the players come back to the bench, because no one was in sight. One player attempted to go over and get Otto. He was unsuccessful. Olczyk all alone in front of the net.
So the U.S. squad opportunistic again. The goal is Ed Olczyk from Joel Otto at 2:54 of period 2. And the Americans, without too many scoring opportunities, have capitalized twice and lead in the hockey game 2-0. Chelios throws it back behind the net. Housley also got an assist. And meanwhile, the Americans shoot it out and down the ice. LaFontaine after it. And he got there first. Good play by Pat LaFontaine. Kept in by Presley briefly. Now Andersson shovels it out towards the line. Neat move there by Sundstrom to get by a check. Sundstrom drops it at the line. Here's Sweden buzzing around in the zone. Rundqvist takes the shot towards the net and missed. Andersson kept it in briefly. Chelios gets it out into the center ice area. And now LaFontaine has it. Pat LaFontaine spilled in the neutral zone. Team Sweden works its way back to center. Michael Talbot checked at the line, and we get an offside called with Gary Suter making the defensive play for the Americans.
Certainly number 15, K.Nilsson, has got some great abilities to handle that puck out there, as does his teammate, Peter Sundstrom. Number 17, Peter Sundstrom, who has signed with the Washington Capitals just recently, is an excellent defensive forward, and that fits very well into the Washington Capitals style.
Albalin. He's just signed with the Quebec Nordiques. He'll be at their training camp later on in September. And Håkan Sodergren now circles away from Mullen. Cross-ice pass steered into the zone by Albalin, and it goes over the glass and out of play.
One thing Bob Johnson stresses with all of his hockey teams, and always has, he loves that intensity and aggressiveness, and at the same time, he is very much a type of coach that wants the plays and wants them well disciplined out there. He has had a lot of experience coaching against European teams over his coaching career.
Langway shoots it around on the boards. Aaron Broughton can't get loose. Bergquist has it, tried to set it up for Sodergren. And now it is Kevin Hatcher working his way out to center. Broughton to Mullen. Back into Broughton, knocked it down, shoveled it towards the net wide. Hatcher moves up, keeps it in. Broughton tried to center it. There it came right in front, and Mullen was hauled down and could not put it in. The Swedes break back. Sodergren at the line. Қ.Нильсson threw it across the line, and it comes out to the center ice area with Joey Mullen to Kevin Hatcher. Hatcher, big shot. Lindmark steered it into the corner. Hatcher goes after it. Just dumped it in behind the net. Albalin sets it up for Eldebrink. It comes out and down the ice. No icing, as they rule Ramsey could have played it. And Housley works his way back out to the line. The Americans moving the puck crisply here in the early stages of period 2 into the slot area for Nyland. It comes back towards the line. Fraser's shot towards the side of the net. And the Swedes clear it out to center. United States definitely in control of this hockey game right now. As you look at Chris Nyland as he hustles back into the Swedish zone, there's a backhand shot and he's ruled offside. 14:29 to play.
Well, you can see from behind Peter Lindmark here that there was a little bit of traffic. Once again, that play originating from behind Lindmark, almost a la Gretzky style. Gretzky loves to set up behind the net. More and more players are utilizing that from an offensive maneuvering standpoint.
Ramsey clears it around on the boards, kept in at the line. by Team Sweden. Т.Эклунд is after it there, taken out of the play by Ramsey. Ramsey shovels it out to center. J.Onsson, veteran defenseman from the New York Islanders. Out there now with L.Kарлsson. J.Onsson flipped it in behind Van Beesbroek. J.Onsson moves over now, trying to keep it in at the line. It's knocked out. Kurt Fraser hustles after it. Fraser. J.Onsson is checked. Fraser has it, knocks it into the corner. Housley circles behind the net. They score! Nyland.
Well, we expect when Chris Nyland is out there that things are going to happen. You don't always expect him to score goals, though. Watch from behind the net here. Housley has possession of the puck. He just throws it out. To the right of your screen was Chris Nyland. Now watch Nyland here. Great camera work here. We've got him isolated. Watch, that puck comes across empty. Nyland didn't have to do too much thinking before he put that puck away. He saw the empty side. Lindmark was caught over to his left. Nyland bangs it home, makes it 3-0 for Team USA.
Chris Nyland.
Nyland gets the goal. Phil Housley will get one assist.
Kurt Fraser.
And Kurt Fraser also draws an assist at 6:15.
Number 30, Nyland. The assist, number 8, Fraser. The time, 6.
So the United States now with a 3-0 lead in this hockey game. And we aren't midway through it at this point. The Americans have really forced the play in the second period. Gustafsson chopped it toward the line. Joel Otto kept it in. Here's a chance now for Carpenter along the boards. Shovels it towards the side of the net. It comes back out to the far side. There's another chance. Otto just deflected it wide on that shot by Chelios. Now it is Naslund for Team Sweden. Working out to center. Elchik broke that up, threw it back into the Swedish zone. The United States makes a quick change, and the Swedes bring it out to center. Gustafsson is checked. Here come the Americans once again. We get a tripping call against Magnus Rupe of Sweden.
Watch number 24, Rupe. He signed with the Philadelphia Flyers. He just took the legs right out of the USA player, and Rupe is going right to the penalty box. He's an aggressive type of forward, and I'm sure the Flyers are going to give him an excellent opportunity to make their hockey team. He's a strong corner man.
2 minutes for tripping. The time, 7:15.
This could really be the start of something new for Bob Carpenter. He has been pretty intense during this game, but that's not legal, Bob. You can't hang on to Bent Gustafsson's stick. Interesting, Gustafsson and Carpenter were great as of friends when they were playing together in Carpenter's first year in Washington. I think Carpenter there was just playing games with Bent Gustafsson.
This could turn out to be a big steal for Rogie Vachon if Bobby Carpenter can play anything like he did 2 years ago when he goes to the Kings training camp this fall. Meanwhile, Housley moves up to make some efforts there in the zone. Albalin tries to get loose. Sundstrom has it now. The Americans, good forechecking. They get it to the line, and now it's kept in. Chelios reversed his stick, took a left-handed shot, and managed to keep it in the zone. Aaron Broughton struggling behind the net with LaFontaine. LaFontaine can't keep it in, and the puck comes out and down the ice. Chelios moves after it. Rundqvist is up to do some forechecking. And Ramsey clears it out to the center ice area. Broughton leaves it for Pat LaFontaine. LaFontaine drops it. LaFontaine gets it back, shovels it toward the corner. J.Karlsson checks his man. Now Presley gets it back to the line to Chelios. LaFontaine. U.S. on the power play. 50 seconds to go. Good save there by Lindmark. Not sure that he saw it, but he did get in front of it. And now Presley behind the net. U.S. trying to get another goal here. They lead 3-0 in the hockey game, and they're on a power play. Mark Johnson keeps it in. Chelios over to Aaron Broughton. Behind the net to Presley. Control by the Americans. So far, not very many shots. Back in behind the net it goes once again, and this time Thomas J.Onsson has it and flips it into the U.S. team bench.
Well, you notice the U.S. team taking plenty of time setting up in front of Peter Lindmark in the Swedish end zone. But the one thing that is different from Team USA and Team Canada is they'll tend to shoot away from the point far more than the European teams. And that can give a goaltender like Lindmark a little bit more of some trouble because they're not quite accustomed to getting those shots from the points as we are over here in North America. You could see Lindmark had some screening in front of him because number 14, Wayne Presley for Team USA, was doing everything he could to take that sight away from Lindmark.
Housley drills one. Lindmark, good save. And Talbot has control and flips it out and down the ice. Bill Housley's been a factor in this hockey game, Gary. He's got 2 assists on the last 2 U.S. goals. We haven't really talked very much about him, but he's still a great player. Seems like he's been around forever, and he's only 23 years old.
Hey, this is his type of hockey. He may not be great in the aggressive hockey department, but his skill level is exceptional.
Joey Mullen with control, has to wait for Carpenter to come out of the zone. Didn't wait long enough, and we have an offside at the line with 10:38 to go in the second period. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
From him. However, Scotty tended to use him back on the blue line. He knew he had some difficulties, was trying to gain his confidence by moving him up front. Now he's pretty much settled back in the blue. He had a good year last year, 21 goals, 46 assists for the Sabres. He does have lots of offensive abilities as a defenseman.
Naslund works his way down the left side. Kevin Hatcher, excellent defensive play to take him out. And now the Swedes control behind the net. Here's a chance with Naslund in front, looking to set it up for teammate Eklund. Comes back to the line instead, and they miss the net. Now here's another chance as a big pileup in front of Van Beesbroek. Eklund trying to get the loose puck, and Van Beesbroek holds it out.
Well, Eklund looking for that loose puck.
I was just about to say, Gary, that the United States has outshot Sweden so far in 9-1 in the period. But the Swedes evened it up here a little bit.
Kevin Hatcher there, number 4, was doing a pretty good job of coverage. He had that stick wrapped right around the Swedish opponent. Watch here, Langway just gives number 4, Eklund, an extra help, and then Brook rams him right into the crossbar. How does your waist feel now, Mr. Eklund? Hatcher, a big man out there. He can certainly lay on the lumber. 6'4", 212 pounds. We said that before. He's only 21 years of age. What a future this guy can have in the National Hockey League.
Born in Detroit, first-round draft pick by Washington 3 years ago. Played his junior hockey with the North Bay Centennials of the Ontario Hockey Association. And David Poyle appears to have found a blue chipper in Kevin Hatcher. Now the face-off to the left of John Van Beesbroek. We have 10 minutes and 13 seconds to play here in period 2. In the United States, not many opportunities scoring-wise. They've made the most of them. They lead the hockey game 3-0. Trying to win their second game and take over top spot in the tournament standings, and I'm not sure anybody would have predicted that when this tournament began last Friday. Rupe clears it towards the U.S. blue line. Hatcher has it. Otto flips it out towards center, and the puck is deflected off a defenseman toward the boards. Hatcher now chops it towards the line. And we had a glove pass, but it wasn't called, so play continues. It goes in across the line and comes back out again. And now the Americans control and just shoot it down the ice. Lindmark plays it, no icing. P.Andersson is back for it. U.S. team changing on the fly. The Americans keep it in at the line. There's a shot right on by Pat LaFontaine. And Lindmark hangs on for a face-off.
Well, Lindmark was able to glove that shot fairly easily. Lindmark once again is trying to impress everyone he possibly can here, and who knows, maybe the guy doesn't really want to play in the National Hockey League. However, I do know one thing is that he is a little bit sour at 31 years of age that he's never been given the opportunity. And ask yourself the question why. He's been outstanding in World Championships. Maybe sometime this year somebody will give him a chance.
J.Onsson works his way in on the left side. His pass went wide, and the U.S. controls once again now as Kelly Miller shoots it into the Swedish zone. Sodergren out to center. Gustafsson missed a check. Sodergren carries on. Sodergren now, it's a 2-on-1 break. And Housley did a good job of taking the man out of the play, and the goalkeeper, Van Beesbroek, cleared the puck to center. J.Onsson into Bergqvist. Now Nilsson picks it up. Kent Nilsson takes the shot towards the front of the net. Bergqvist nearly got free. Ramsey stayed with him, though. And now at the other end, it's L.Kарлsson moving up to keep the play in the zone, and they get an offside. 8:28 to go in period 2. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
Flushing Meadow, New York, late summer, great tennis. Following the Players International, the tennis world moves south of the border, and TSN will be there for the 1987 U.S. Open. Join us for daily coverage from the U.S. Open, live from Flushing Meadow, New York, starting September the 1st. The U.S. Open here on TSN.
Т.Йонссон, the New York Islander player, has been for the last 6 years in the NHL. Great abilities to pass. He has had 2 Stanley Cup rings that he proudly bears. And certainly here playing for Team Sweden, his homeland, he has also shown the abilities, especially when it comes to being able to see the whole ice surface. That's where Jönsson excels.
Naslund struggles against Brook. Brook clears it in across the line. Naslund takes control once again. Now Mats Naslund with some skating room works his way into the American zone. It's cleared to Eklund. It comes back out towards the line, kept in briefly by Albalin, and now brought to center by Gary Suter. Nyland works his way into the corner. Eldebrink gets there first and clears it back out. 7:55 to go in the second period. The United States 3 and Team Sweden no score. And Gary Suter shoots it back into the Swedish zone. Suter at the line, can't keep it in, has to play it back to Chelios. Now it's dumped in towards Nyland. Nyland works his way around one player and is sent sprawling. And the Swedes nearly gave the puck away fatally on that play. Albalin. Chelios. Swedes just can't get anything going here. Now Fraser from well out. And Lindmark made the save. Now here's a chance by Brook. And he shot it high. Another shot. Fraser just missed. Back at the line. Hatcher keeps it in. Bob Brook. Checked. Eldebrink shoots it around on the boards. Langway keeps it in at the line. Takes the shot right to net. They score!
Well, Bob Brook puts Team USA ahead as the U.S. fans here wave their flag 4-0. Watch from behind the net. You will see the exact action, as does Peter Lindmark. That puck was flying high off of the glass, and then it comes back. Now watch. That was a short angle. Lindmark had it covered. It came back again. He feels like he's in a pinball machine here. He's got pucks coming at him from all over. All of a sudden then, that puck will come out. It was sent around the boards by Eldebrink. And then it ends up with a deflection right in the net. Let's face it, Peter Lindmark had lots of action over the space of those 30 seconds.
Well, in the 30 seconds that you were talking about the goal, Aaron Broughton has drawn a penalty, and so Team Sweden will be on the power play for, I believe, the 4th time in the hockey game. And they have mustered very little offense in the hockey game. It's amazing, Gary, how much different they look tonight compared with the way they played against the Soviets Saturday in Calgary.
Well, Peter, I know that they have said that they would just treat it one game at a time, and that, in fact, they have forgotten about the Soviet game the other night. That's a little hard to believe after watching them so far tonight. They are, without any doubt, not the same team as they were Saturday night in Calgary against the Soviets.
Peter Andersson starts this Swedish power play up to Rundqvist. In across the line. Hatcher, who's had a strong second period for the American side, clears it out across the line. Telvin has it there to Andersson. The last penalty, Aaron Broughton for tripping. And it was a minute and a half ago, and now the Swedes will try and get something going, and Bob Brook is there to break up that thrust and shoot it back down the ice. Sundstrom works his way in across the line. Ramsey takes him out of the play. Rundqvist goes to the corner looking for the loose puck. Chelios has it there. Chelios clears it around behind the net. Chelios works against Sundstrom, beats 2 players, breaks out to center. Shovels it in across the line. Now here's a chance for Bob Brook with a big shot. Wow, did he ever crank that thing? And Lindmark got a piece of it. Or it might have gone in the top corner. Nice play. Nilsson works against Ramsey, then lost control of the puck. And it's shot back down the ice.
That's another thing that European goaltenders are not as used to. player shooting from all the way out at the blue line as Brook did, and boy, he really rifled it.
Nilsson throws it back towards the line. J.Onsson has it. J.Onsson looking to get a shot. Some traffic in front. That one is deflected by Carpenter, and Joel Otto clears it out to center. Nilsson with 25 seconds left in the penalty. Now here's the giveaway. Here's Carpenter working right in alone. Carpenter, what a save. Lindmark can't find it, but he made the stop. Great goalkeeping by Peter Lindmark. Carpenter nearly had his second goal of the hockey game. 10 seconds left in the penalty to Aaron Broughton, and Nilsson works his way across the line and then has to come back outside. Kent Nilsson. The Americans back at full strength. J.Onsson comes in across the line, and Broughton promptly broke that play up. Now here's a two-man breakaway. Here is Carpenter once again. Shoots this time. What a save again, Lindmark. Peter Lindmark, two great stops on Bobby Carpenter. One killing a penalty, one just after the U.S. returned to full strength. And finally the puck is chopped out into the center ice area.
Well, Carpenter went to the bench. His quarter ran out. That was two excellent opportunities that he had in the space of about 30 seconds. Both breakaway opportunities. Great save by Lindmark.
Langway controls it. Naslund knocked flying. Langway made the play and knocked his man down. And now the Americans break out to center. Kept out at the line. Here comes Naslund. He runs into the linesman. Albalin shoveled it in across the line. Now Eldebrink has it. Into the corner. Naslund works towards the slot. There's a chance. Gustafsson scores!
Well, Ben Gustafsson didn't exactly drill that puck. Watch, he was stationed over to the left of Van Beesbroek. Van Beesbroek tried to get back in time. You can see number 10 there for Team USA. Aaron Broughton didn't have his man.
This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
With so many big men in the NHL right now, it can get uncomfortable on the ice for players like me. But there's something else that makes me uncomfortable. Something you as a parent or teenager should also be uncomfortable about. This problem won't go away just because you wish it would. And you teenagers won't escape it unless you have positive alternatives. The problem is drugs. The Council on Drug Abuse knows a few things you ought to know. They can help you, you can help them. Let's get rid of drugs so we can all live comfortably.
Ben Gustafsson getting that goal. Assist from number 26, Mats Naslund, and number 2, Eldebrink. Gustafsson once again just had to make an easy tap to put that puck by John Van Beesbroek.
Puck knocked down with a high stick by Gary Suter, so there'll be a face-off just outside the Swedish blue line. With 4 minutes to play exactly in the second period. Well, perhaps now that goal will get the Swedes going a little bit as you look at Gary Suter.
Suter, pretty amazing guy, isn't he? Take a look back at his history here. He was a 10th round draft selection by the Calgary Flames back in '84. He became Rookie of the Year in the NHL in '85-'86. This guy has turned out to be a great Cliff Fletcher's selection.
Face-off to the left of Van Beesbroek. Controlled by the United States. Kept in. No, it is not kept in. Andersson let it come out over the line.
Peter Lindmark certainly hasn't had the help in front of him that he had in the Soviet game. We've talked plenty about that, but nevertheless, Lindmark has had plenty of dazzling saves that he's made, and Bobby Carpenter, if you don't believe us, will tell you.
There's an easy save on a long shot from the point by Gary Suter. The puck is controlled by Michael Telvin of Team Sweden. Out across the line to center. Here is Sundstrom. And he's offside at the blue line. 3:39 to go in the second period. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
Tuesday on the Sports Network. Live at 12 and 7:30, Grand Slam tennis action from the U.S. Open in Flushing Meadow, New York. Then at 4, the Masters of Disaster meet, the greatest in man action, AWA Wrestling. 10:30, live from the legendary Candlestick Park, the Expos meet the Giants. And that's all on TSN, where every day this week you can enjoy great tennis action from the U.S. Open in Flushing Meadow, New York.
Welcome back to the Cops Coliseum in Hamilton. We just got handed a shot total, 16-4 for the United States in the second period. And full value for a 4-1 lead, but the Swedes got the last goal, and we'll see if it gets them going a little bit. They have not played a good hockey game here through the first 36 minutes of play. K.Nilsson works his way slowly to the line, now makes the pass into the center ice area. Sodergren breaks it up, and Tommy Sandlin has started to juggle his lines a little bit, looking for some combinations that can be a little more effective. So J.Jonsson keeps it in at the line briefly. Now we have a delayed offside coming up, but the U.S. will bring it out with Kevin Hatcher carrying into the center ice area. Here is Fraser. Nobody made a move to check him at all. There's a chance in front. What a save by Lindmark on Bob Brook.
Well, Lindmark really feels like he's all alone out there sometimes in this second period. The shots indicate that. Brook just fired that pass, or that puck, as soon as he got the pass. Nice little pass there by number 8, Fraser. Lindmark came up with a big save once again. Boy, he has really been left defenseless a number of times this second period.
That's a half a dozen borderline brilliant saves in the last 4 or 5 minutes by Peter Lindmark, who has written quite a story in this Canada Cup competition to this point. And Tommy Sandlin looks on, concerned about the fact that his team can't seem to really get anything going. I was going to say on that goal by Sweden, Mats Naslund was such a determined kind of effort on the goal, Gary. And that big line in this hockey game really has not been terribly effective with Nilsson, Naslund, and Gustafsson. And now he's got Naslund out there with different people, trying to find a combination that'll work. Gustafsson steered it in towards the zone. Ä.Kylund can't get to it. Carpenter now shoots it out to center. No icing. It went off a Swedish player, and Eldebrink hustles after it. Olczyk takes his man heavily in along the boards. Otto written in as well, fighting for the puck with Gustafsson. You're right about Gustafsson. He's so much stronger than he appeared to be when he first played in the NHL a couple of years ago.
Well, he was certainly never afraid of anyone when he played in the NHL, but I really think that his body strength, upper body strength, has improved.
Ramsey sets it up. Housley across the line, looking to make a play, throws it into the corner. Carpenter has it there. That pass intercepted by the Swedes. And here comes Naslund down the right side. Mats Naslund at the line. Albalin moves in. Albalin shoots. Great save, Van Beesbrook. Mullen run in heavily along the boards. Chelios has it, shoots it out and down the ice. No icing.
Well, that's what you need. All of a sudden, Van Beesbrook hasn't had a lot of action this second period. Has to come up with a big save. He did exactly that.
A minute 20 to go in the second period. The United States 4, Sweden 1. Rundqvist works his way in across the line. Aaron Broughton cleared it around on the boards. It's chopped to the line. Rupe keeps it in, takes the shot. That's blocked by the defense. Mark Johnson has it, gets it out to center. Delvin back into his own zone for the loose puck with a minute to go in the second period. The United States changing. Ä.Kylland. Works his way out of the zone. Talbin has it now up into the center ice area to Rupe. And now Hatcher shoots it into the zone. Here's Presley hustling after it. Presley tries to center it. Sundstrom took him out of the play. Ä.Kylland throws it back behind the net, and Michael Talbin has it.
The Swedes are trying to set a man way up high in the neutralized area, trying to take a little bit of the pressure off of their defense.
Talbin's shot blocked easily by Van Beesbrook, controlled by Langway, cleared around on the boards, and it goes out to center. And the Americans flip it in towards Lindmark. He leaves it there for Talbin. Talbin takes a hit. The Americans now starting to hit anything that's wearing a yellow jersey. Here's a long shot right on. Van Beesbrook cleared that out of the way. Langway shoots it out and down the ice, and that's the end of the second period.
Team USA now leading Team Sweden by a score of 4-1, but there's still 20 minutes of hockey left to play here at the Cup-87. Joining us now from Team Sweden, K.Nilsson. First of all, happy birthday, many happy returns, and it's not a very good way to celebrate your birthday today.
Thank you very much, and we had a tough time so far the first two periods.
It seems that the United States is playing the kind of hockey game that Sweden played against the Soviet Union the other night.
Exactly. They're going back 4 guys, and it's lot easier to defend and to control a hockey game, and they play the way we were supposed to play.
All right, how do you solve that puzzle? I mean, the Soviets couldn't do it against you fellas. Can you do it against the United States in the third period?
I hope so. I think we have to change that style a bit. Instead of going back with the puck, we got to get over the red line, shoot it in, and start the forecheck and create a little more chances.
Kent, for the first time in a lot of years, hockey fans in Canada and the United States are not going to get a chance to see you play this winter. You've decided to go back to Europe to play, and you're going to play in Italy instead of Sweden. What made you decide to go back to Italy to play?
I don't really know. It's when I got traded to Edmonton last year, I met a fellow called Ron Chipperfield, and he asked me if I want to come to Italy and play, and I went there in the spring, and I liked it. And it's a short season, and I played 10 years over here, and I think it's time to step down a bit.
Are you just tired of coming over here? Is the luster, the glamour worn off? Is it time to sit back and take stock again?
No, I don't think so. I played 10 years over here, and this was the first time in my whole life I can control myself where I wanted to play, and I decided to go back over to Europe.
Ben Gustafson said that he was tired of the NHL last year. That's why he didn't come back to Washington to play, but the year off gave him new perspective, and he's coming back to Washington now, and he says that he wants to play again. Do you think that a year off in Italy could rekindle the fire in you?
I don't know. I'm a little older than Bengt is, and I think lots of people think it's that easy to play in Sweden too, but they work pretty hard at home too. They run maybe 6 times a week the whole summer, and they don't get any weeks or any month off.
If you had not won the Stanley Cup this last year, would it have been a different situation for you? Do you think you would have been coming back?
Oh, I would have come back for another year because I think Edmonton have a big chance to win it again.
Let's talk about this tournament now. If you lose tonight, it's not crucial because you still have a game against Finland, and you should be able to beat Finland. So it'd be disappointing, but it wouldn't mean that you would miss the medal round.
I don't think it's that easy to beat any team. I don't think it's not that big difference between winning or losing. The puck bounced good one night for us, and we're going to win, and the next night it might bounce bad, and the other team is winning.
Good luck in the third period.
Thank you.
All right, K.Nilsson of Team Sweden celebrating his 31st birthday today. We'll take a break and come back with highlights from the second period from the Cup-87. This is Labatt Canada Cup 87.
Silver Eagle Records presents the international supergroup, ABBA. A decade, the #1 international recording group in the world. To order, call the number on your screen. All of their solid gold hits that top the music charts can now be yours on this double-length album or cassette. Hit after hit, the best of ABBA on double-length album or cassette, only $14.95. Available on compact disc, just $19.95. Write or call now.
"40 minutes of hockey gone now at the Cup-87 in Hamilton. The United States 4 and Team Sweden 1 in this Canada Cup preliminary hockey game. We're going to show you a couple of goals. First of all, the goal by Ed Olczyk, and the story of this game is that the Americans are getting some scoring when they get the chances.
Well, the Swedes are certainly complying with all of that. We told you how great at the start of the game the Swedish defensive efforts have been in game number 1. Well, they haven't looked too great so far in this hockey game. Take a look. Watch number 29, Joel Otto, and also Carpenter. They just throw that puck, Olczyk does, right across. Olczyk just has to tip that puck by Lindmark, and once again, there wasn't much aggressiveness on the Swedish defensive cores during that second period as well as in the first.
Well, Ed Olczyk got that goal, and Chris Nyland, of all people, got the third goal.
Chris Nyland, he can either start a war out there for you or he can play some hockey. Now this time, he's got the Swedes totally confused. They give him lots of room out there because, first of all, they don't know what to expect from him. Even Kurt Fraser doesn't know quite what to expect from Chris Nyland on any given opportunity. Watch how much room he has out there all the time. I mean, there's no Swedish player that is going to be around him too much. And believe me, Kurt Fraser's a tough guy. He's not afraid of Nyland, but Nyland's all over the ice. He's just buzzing out there. That's his favorite style of hockey. just go every place. Chase the puck, take the man, do whatever he has to do to get the job done. But Chris Nilan, as Bob Johnson says, any team in the National Hockey League would want this guy because he is an intense hockey player. There he goes. He's going down the ice now, and he is taking a look. Put yourself in the Swedish player part. Is he going to run me? Is he going to stick me? What's he going to do? He parks himself in front of the net, watches that pass comes around from Fraser there. I was saying Fraser. I should have said Thomas J.Onsson, because J.Onsson certainly knows this man well. But Fraser puts the pass right across to Chris Nilan, and Nilan just puts that puck home very nicely past Lindmark. We were talking about Bobby Carpenter. Now watch, sometimes referees, well, they can't see everything out there. Watch once again, and that was pretty neat here. Bobby said, I'm just going to take Bent Gustafsson's stick here. I'm going to take him around in circles, hang on to it. Those are the things that you can't expect referees to have eyes in the back of their head. Then Carpenter just kind of put the body into the Swedish player. Now he also had a couple of excellent opportunities. We're going to see one of them. He goes in all alone on Lindmark. He couldn't put that puck by him. This guy has had a pretty excellent night, even though the score right now is 4-1. The goaltending for the Swedes has been pretty good.
It has indeed. 3 goals got by him in the second period, but Lindmark was brilliant. It's the U.S. 4 and Sweden 1 with 20 minutes still to play. This is the Labatt.
Exploding for 3 goals in that second period of play to add to the one they scored in the first. Here's the second period scoring summary brought to you by Dodge Trucks. Ed Olczyk with his second point of the night, first goal of the series from Otto and Housley at 2:54. Chris Nilan makes it 3-0, his first at 6:15. Bob Brook made it a 4-0 hockey game, his first of the series from Rod Langway at 12:55. And then the Swedes broke the shutout bid of John Van Beesbroek. Bengt Gustafsson scoring his second of the Canada Cup at 15:55. Shots on goal in that second period. Sweden had 8 for a 2-period total of 15. 17 for the USA. 23 shots on goal for the United States over 2 periods. And in the goal-scoring column, they lead it 4-1 with 20 minutes to go. We're set to play hockey. Let's take you to Peter Watts and Gary Green.
Pretty tough on John Van Beesbroek that last period. He only had 8 shots on net, as Jim just said. And that is the most difficult thing for a goaltender to really keep, is his concentration when you haven't got too much action. Meanwhile, the guy at the opposite end, he's got more action than he can possibly handle. He probably had an aspirin in between periods.
And meanwhile, on the Swedish bench, Tommy Sandlin is plotting some strategy. What do you suppose the message was to his team in the dressing room at the intermission?
Well, it's words that we couldn't say here on television, Peter, because he's got to be some upset with his hockey club, the way they have really come from a high on Saturday night to a low in 2 periods of play against Team USA.
Explain the challenge of being an intense and playing almost a playoff-style hockey game after 2 months of playing golf. It's not as easy as we might expect.
Well, I think during a long training camp, though, as they have had, that you've got to build that intensity level up. And you would have thought they would have had it, and a pretty good opener on Saturday night.
As play begins, Hatcher works it into the corner. Olczyk can't get loose, and now Anders Eldebrink clears it around on the right side, gets it out towards the line. Olczyk moves up to make the check, and Langway takes over in his own zone. Langway, long pass up to Olczyk. Nice play. Olczyk breaks in on the left side, takes the shot, missed the net. Hatcher can't keep it in. It comes back out to Bobby Carpenter in his own zone. Carpenter's had a strong game for the United States. Gets it to Joel Otto. He shoots it in. The U.S. changing players right away. L.Kарлsson to J.Onsson. J.Onsson steams to center, shoots it into the zone. Good defensive play there by Housley, and Mike Ramsey works it towards the line, and the Americans chop it out into the neutral zone. J.Onsson to Rundqvist. He's checked. Sundstrom moves up. Rundqvist now shoots it towards the side of the net. Can't get away from the checkers, and the Americans clear it out and down the ice. And as J.Onsson comes back, we get an icing call against the United States. The Labatt player of the game for the United States will receive the new Canon EOS autofocus that never misses. Stop the game with the only autofocus camera quick enough to capture all the action. The Canon EOS, more than autofocus, more than ever.
In all seriousness, Peter, you were asking me what Tommy Sandlin would be trying to get across in between periods, and he can use a good reference as to the other night, and that is the intensity levels, the aggressive levels, and that's what he's got to get from his players right now, is that spark. Somebody's got to go out there and make something happen for this club if they're going to get going.
Chelios behind his own net, starts it up to Gary Suter, clips it into the center ice area, and we get a two-line offside. 18-17 to go in the hockey game. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
I got you. I know I got you.
You got 88 Toyota trucks coming in.
And 87s are still here.
So I'll take this Toyota off your hands if...
You give me a real deal. Yeah, make me a deal right now.
'Cause, I don't have much time.
And you don't either.
Take advantage of your Toyota dealer right now because he's got to move the 87s awfully fast, and that can mean the best deals of the year.
Hey, I know I gotcha.
So get them while they still got them.
I'll answer my own question as well. Who's going to do it for Team Sweden? Well, Tom Sandlin knows that it's got to come from a Naslund or a Gustafsson. There's two big guns. They've got to lead the way for Team Sweden if they're going to get back in this hockey game.
Chelios flips it into the open corner. Sodergren moves up but can't get away from Gary Suter. And now the Swedes dig it free once again. Chelios makes the check, shoots it around on the boards. Telvin at the line keeps it in. It's chopped out into the slot area, and Joey Mullen was right there for the United States.
Only a 4-on-2 right now. Where is the Swedish help?
Mullen right in, scores! That is precisely the question that Peter Lindmark has for his team.
Yeah, where was all the help? 4-on-2. Now that's great offense for Team USA. Peter Lindmark there just had that one off of his glove. Take a look, count them. 1, 2, 3, 4 blue shirts, only 2 yellow. That's not fair to any goaltender. I think right now that the Swedish forwards have just died on Tommy Sandlin.
5-1 is the score on the goal by Joey Mullen, his first of the competition. Second of the competition, I beg your pardon. Johnson got an assist at 2:13. And now the Americans go to the attack once again. It's Bob Brook.
At 2:13.
And now it is Eklund working his way to center. Pettersson shoots it in. It's chopped out off the boards. Rupe knocked down. Rupe tries to make the check, and it goes instead into the zone. Lindmark has to come out of the net and clear it off the boards, and Pettersson gets it up to Eklund. Pettersson now carries on. Hooked on the play, but Ramsey gets away with it, chops it back out to center. Just over 3 minutes gone in the period. It is 5-1 for the United States. Gustafsson missed a body check. Naslund carries on. Has to wait for teammates to get back on side.
Mike Ramsey looked like a train coming through at 5 o'clock. He was all set to deck Gustafsson. Gustafsson saw him out of the corner of his eye, just moved in time. Gussie might have been bowled right over.
Olczyk shoots it around on the boards, and it goes all the way down the ice, and that'll be an icing call against the United States. With 16:24 to play in the third period, this is the Labatt Canada Cup.
Karen Percy, Lisa Savajarvi, Rob Boyd, bright new names for hard work, drive, and burning desire. Every time you enter Gillette's Victory Drive sweepstakes, we send 25 cents to help light the fires of our national ski team in Calgary. And you get a chance to win one of 8 sporty Jeep YJ 4x4s. Help our ski team's Victory Drive, and you could drive a Jeep YJ. Enter wherever you see this Gillette Victory Drive sweepstakes display.
USA 5, Sweden 1 in this Canada Cup hockey tournament game from the Cup-87 in Hamilton, Canada. Gustafsson on the face-off with Joel Otto, and the United States controls once again. Chelios. Suter works his way out across the line. Now it's Karlsson. Lars Karlsson drops it to Naslund. He circles away from Carpenter, then misplays the puck on the pass, and Olczyk breaks it up for the United States to Bobby Carpenter. Chops it into the Swedish zone. Karlsson's after it. kind of lost track of it there, and Otto dug it loose, and now the puck is cleared over across in front of the net, and the Swedes having trouble getting going in their own zone. Into the center ice area, Gustafsson. And we get an offside at the line. And the Swedes don't look very crisp at all as you look at Mats Naslund.
Well, the Swedes can't even carry the puck over the blue line right now. They're having that much difficulty. Mats Naslund didn't have his best year with Montreal last year, but did end up with 25 goals, 55 assists, as you see right there. This guy, not very big at 5'7", but a pretty gutsy player. He's got great speed. Against the Soviets the other night, he just came right across the goal crease, and I think that Beloshakin was caught off guard by Naslund's great speed, but he hasn't really showed that out there tonight so far.
LaFontaine to Langway at the point. There's the shot, deflected. It comes out of the zone. The Swedes take over. K.Nilsson across the line. There's the shot by Sundstrom that missed the net. Miller run in on the boards by Sundstrom. Langway clears it behind his own net to Kevin Hatcher. Hatcher off the boards. The Swedes break it up in the center ice in the American zone. Nilsson flips it. There's a chance right on. Van Beesbroek makes the save and gets the rebound.
Well, there was Thomas J.Onsson right in the slot area. He lets it go, but watch once again. As soon as J.Onsson shoots, he no sooner shot the puck. There was no way he was going to get a rebound. He had two Team USA guys right on top of him, smothering him right off the bat.
Eldebrink, long shot from the point, blocked easily by Van Beesbroek. Ramsey goes to the corner after it. Sodergren up to do some forechecking, but the United States gets it out of the zone. Anders Carlson to Bergquist. Sodergren, long pass up, broken up there by Aaron Broughton. Sodergren tries his luck once again. All that ice out there, and three of them want the same 4 square feet of it. It's been that kind of night for the Swedes. Now Sodergren tries his luck again. Housley poked it off his stick. Carlson, Sodergren, can't get across the line. Brook to Broughton. Now Mullen intercepts that pass in the center ice area, crosses the line. Sets it up for Housley, who's moved up to try and help out on this offensive thrust, and instead the puck was out to center. 14 minutes to play in the third period. The United States 5, Sweden 1. Long pass up looking for Pettersson. Just a bit too far. Chelios. And Pettersson is down on top of the puck. Chelios digs it free and shovels it out to center. L.Kарлsson to J.Onsson. Up for Roop. Kept in at the line. No, it wasn't. Suter just a little bit late getting there. And we get the offside.
Well, the difficulty right now that Team Sweden are having, as was witnessed on USA's 5th goal, is once they try to gamble offensively, the great defensive efforts by Team USA are just gobbling them right up. That's what resulted in the 4-on-2 situation. All that Team Sweden can do right now with 13:39 remaining is gamble offensively to try to get back into this game.
Cleared around on the boards for Eriksson. Chelios can't keep it in at the line. Now he shovels it up over the glass and out of play, and we get another whistle. There is a moment here to talk about the fact that this is a wide-open tournament. The Americans weren't really being thought of as one of the contenders. All of a sudden, they're on their way to their second victory in the tournament, and it's only going to take 4 or 5 points to qualify for the medal round. They look pretty impressive.
Interesting point, because Tommy Sandlin said he thought it would only take 4 points. If they could win tonight, they would get at least into the playoff round. Ted Sater, the associate coach for Team USA, felt, though, this is such a competitive tournament, they're going to need 5 points to get in. They may well be on their way.
Lindmark clears it away from the Chris Nyland. J.Onsson shovels it around on the boards. Fraser can't keep it in. Pettersson controls, and Tommy Eklund breaks to center. Eklund working against Langway. Guess who won that battle decisively? And a cross-checking call against Langway with
Big Rod Langway ends up in the penalty box for cross-checking. 7:01 was the time, and he gave it to number 4, Tom Eklund.
Well, we'll have to wait for the call, but I think Langway got more than just the cross-checking penalty. No, he didn't. So I'll just let the official officiate this game.
Well, I know what you were talking about, though, Peter, because Langway had a few things to say, but he didn't end up with an extra penalty.
So the Swedes need goals. Let's see what they can do with the man advantage. There's a shot off the goalpost, and Otto clears it out and down the ice. the penalty officially for cross-checking. At 6:59, I think it was, of the period, 7:01 it was of the period. So the Swedes now with a power play. Naslund has it at the line. Works into the slot, takes the shot, he scores! And it's 5-2 for the United States.
Well, I don't think that went off of number 16, Gustafsson's stick. I think Naslund had it all the way, but you could see, watch the work by Gustafsson in front of the net. He was standing there, screening Van Beesbroek as well as any screen can ever be set up. Naslund puts that puck directly on the net. He saw the screen set up. He's a smart enough hockey player that he knew all he had to do was shoot it.
And he did a good job of keeping the puck down, too, so that in case Gustafsson did have a chance to deflect it, it would be in a spot where he could get his stick on. But the deflection not necessary. Andrew Zeldebrink gets an assist, and K.Nilsson as well at 7:34. Here is Bergqvist now working hard in front of the net, trying to get the puck loose. Nilsson throws it back out to the short side. J.Onsson flips it back into the corner off the official Vladimir Schubert, and now Housley gets it and just gets rid of it out towards the line. Here comes the United States. Here's a shot right on. Lindmark made the save and poked it off the stick of Pat LaFontaine. Presley had made a good play to set it up. And now Nilsson works slowly to center. Nilsson across the line, finally took a body check, and they have to come back out of the zone. Sundstrom. And finally we get an offside call.
Pat LaFontaine set up a good rush right away, and that's exactly the signs of a team that's coming together, doing a good job, because what had happened there, as you see a little bit about Pat LaFontaine, was after a power play goal had been scored against Team USA, right away, the next shift out, boom. Guys have got to get something going again. That's what Team USA did. Pat LaFontaine started the offense once again for the U.S. team.
Chelios up to Joey Mullen. And the puck is shot down the ice, and all of a sudden we lost some of the lighting here in the Coliseum.
Jeez, thanks, Peter. I thought I was getting a little tired here. The lights all of a sudden dimmed here, and you could hear the fans realizing there was something wrong.
Well, it's a good play to stop play right away. This is a tough game, and as you look at the lights there in the bank, and there are a fair number of them that have gone out.
Those lights were all on before, folks, and all of a sudden, someone's tripped the switch.
It's a good move by the official to stop play right away, especially for the goalkeepers. Those pucks are flying around, and these guys can shoot pretty hard. A goalkeeper needs all the breaks he can get, and one of them is good lighting in a rink.
Well, you don't get a chance to practice those special maneuvers during practice, Peter. You don't expect the lights to go out, but boy, all of a sudden take a long shot right there, as one of the U.S. players could have. It might have given Peter Lindmark some big difficulties.
I'm not sure if those lights can come on right away or if they take a few minutes to warm up once they're shut off. Bob Johnson looks on.
He's had an awful lot of, as I said before, competition internationally. For years, this man has been directing Team USA. When we were talking about the Swedish team today, he said, well, you know, as late, or as early, I should say, as 1965, the Swedish delegations were talking about what their needs were. Their needs were that of getting more intense, aggressive hockey players. He said at one point in time, they said, Bob, can't you send me over a couple of big, tough, strong North American defensemen? So Johnson has indicated that this has been a long time coming for the development of aggressive hockey in Sweden. Doesn't look it out there tonight so far.
We'll talk more about Bob Johnson when we come back. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
Because it's equal for both teams out there right now. I don't know why we should delay it. It's not going to affect our television that much right now, and what it is not going to affect are the fans being able to witness what's going on out there right now. It's fair for both sides. I don't know why we don't get the game going.
I stand in defense of the goalkeepers, though. It's tough enough playing goal at this level of competition. And the officials now are having a discussion with some of the captains And we'll see if, in fact, they can get play underway. Rod Langway is offering his advice. We were talking about Bob Johnson a moment ago. He is very, very excited about his new job as executive director of the American Amateur Hockey Association. They have big plans to put the U.S. Olympic team on display at a number of venues around the United States between now and next February, when, of course, the U.S. team will be going to Calgary. And he was talking this morning, Gary, about the fact that unlike Dave King in the Canadian program, he's really not looking for professional hockey players from the United States. He's quite happy to take the elite of the U.S. college system and go with them to Calgary, and in fact is looking forward to it. And all he has to do is look back to 1980 to prove that it can be done.
Well, I was just going to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because there's no doubt that in 1980 the USA team proved that they didn't have to have National Hockey League players to win. However, was that a little unusual? Let's go down to Jim Van Horn.
Thank you very much. It seems that there has been some kind of a power failure, obviously, here at the Cup-87. I was just talking to a couple of the technicians. They really have no idea what happened. A circuit was blown, and they have switched things back to normal. But it is going to take about 10 minutes for the lights to come on. All the lights on one half are okay, but it's half the lights on the that would be the west side of the building that have gone down. So they figure it's going to be 10 minutes before they come back. But they've decided they're going to go ahead with the game anyway. There is enough light on the ice, and I guess they must have been listening to Gary Green, or Greener must have contacted his buddy Doug Henning or something. But they are going to go.
I'll just leave that one alone, Peter. You just go right on.
Face off in the center ice area as play resumes. Langway to Kevin Hatcher. Langway now throws it up towards the line. It's intercepted by the Swedes. Here's Naslund with a chance. Right in. Hatcher nearly steered it towards his own goalkeeper. And the puck is cleared out of the line over into the center ice area. Eriksson knocked down, gets the pass over to Albright. Shoots it into the zone, and we get an offside called once again.
I think the truth of the matter is that the officials made a good call, Peter. If there had it been a 5-4 hockey game, they probably would have waited for the lights to come on. But with a 5-2 score right now, 10:54 remaining, Mr. Schubert has decided play must go on.
10:54 to play in the third period. 5-2 for the United States. The Americans with one victory over Sweden by a score of 4-1 last Friday night in Hartford, trying to make it 2 wins in a row and establish themselves as contenders in this 1987 Canada Cup Hockey Tournament. Here's an intercepted pass, and L.Kарлsson is spilled in the trying to get to the loose puck. And J.Onsson in his own zone has to retreat and get it.
Good defensive effort by Wayne Presley there. Presley's pretty good with his stick. I mean, he's a tough character out there.
On the fifth Team USA goal, first assist should go to number 10, Aaron Rotten, instead of number 20, Gary Suter.
Ted Sater, assistant coach, associate coach of the U.S. team.
Interesting man, because he spent 5.5 years coaching in Sweden, and so Ted Sater knows a great deal about the development of Swedish hockey, what their players think, and certainly a very capable strategist himself. Ted Sater is a big asset to Bob Johnson.
Play in the American zone. There's a shot that just went off the goalposts, and it's poked out into the center ice area. Maybe if the Swedes could get one goal here, they could make this last 10 minutes interesting. They appear to be playing with a little bit more spirit than they showed in the first 2 periods, but they're still down by 3, and they're running out of time with 10 minutes to go in the hockey game. Housley now works his way into the Swedish zone. Poke check there on a fine play by Tommy Albolin. There's the puck into the slot area, kept in by Bergquist. He hustles down along the boards past Housley. Mullen behind the net, works it towards the side. Housley clears it, and now Mullen gets it out of the zone. Tommy Albolin, J.Onsson, Sodergren dropped it, and now here's Mullen working his way back out to center and flipping it in to Peter Lindmark. Albolin going to the Quebec Nordiques camp after the Canada Cup tournament. Flips it out and down the ice. Here's the chance now for Magnus. 9 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the third period. The United States led 1-0 at the end of the first period, 4-1 at the end of the second. Each team has a goal here in the third. And Chelios controls now for the U.S. and flips it back to Gary Suter. He just gets rid of it down the ice. That'll be icing. as L.Kарлsson touches it in his own zone.
Team USA right now just trying to play out the clock, not give the Swedish team any momentum whatsoever. And that does not please Tommy Sandlin too much whatsoever. He knows that with only 8:48 to go, there's not much hope if his team coming back, especially with the lack of intensity that they have shown through the whole game. One could not expect to see a big turnaround all of a sudden in the latter part of the third right now.
In the second intermission, K.Nilsson talked about the importance of shooting the puck into the zone and getting some strong forechecking going. But I don't have any sense at all that the U.S. has had a lot of problems getting out of its own zone since the opening faceoff.
Well, I haven't seen the Swedish team shoot it in too much, and nor have I seen them go after it too much.
Van Beesbrook will take another faceoff in his own zone. Mr. Nyland, the 231st selection in the 1978 amateur draft. That's called good scouting or opportunism, I guess, because he came into the league at a time when everybody was looking for a policeman. And Nyland maintains that ability to fight when necessary, but has established himself as a player with much better skills than he's often given credit for.
Well, he played prep school hockey at Northwood in Lake Placid, and right from there he showed people that he had one determination, and that was to play in the National Hockey League. He also one time said that he wanted to be mayor of Boston as well.
He may get that chance yet too. The Swedes are buzzing around a little bit. Gustafsson takes a shot that is blocked by Rod Langway. Hatcher knocked his man down in front of the net. And now we have Ed Olczyk working against Andersson, and Andersson won that little battle. Carpenter and Telvin are exchanging words. Now Telvin moves to the loose puck. Langway clears it out and down the ice. And this will be another icing call against the United States.
Well, Peter Andersson involved right there with number 26 for Team USA, Ed Olczyk, who has been pretty effective in tonight's hockey game out there.
After a disappointing year, I think, perhaps last year in Chicago, Gary, he really didn't play as well as the man beside him didn't play very well either, Carpenter, but perhaps with a new start this year, a good Canada Cup tournament might carry over for both of them into a solid season in the NHL.
Tough on Olczyk last year. He's a hometown boy from Chicago, playing for the Blackhawks, and boy, the fans there have a tendency to get on him. They were calling him No Check, Eddie No Check, and that's not too fair to a young guy that plays with as much intensity as he does. I think he'll rebound this year, as do I think Bob Carpenter will with the LA Kings.
The puck is shot down the ice. We've got 7 minutes and 40 seconds left to play here in the third period. The United States 5, Sweden 2, and K.Nilsson with the puck behind his own net. Nilsson wheels to center, works against Ramsey. Ramsey effectively takes him out of the play. The puck is flipped out to center, and Anders Eldebrink has it. Sundstrom.
Well, we got a penalty coming up for Team USA.
Sundstrom is spilled, and now we get a whistle. And there'll be at least one penalty. It'll be for interference. So the Swedes will get another power play.
Oh, it's going to number 14, Wayne Presley, and he is no stranger to the penalty box tonight. He's getting an interference penalty, and that will be his fourth minor in tonight's game. And we commented once before, this guy likes to use the stick pretty good.
12:45, the time of the interference penalty to Wayne Presley. So the Swedes, who struck for a power play goal on their last opportunity, get another chance now. Gustafsson, Naslund, and Nilsson will be out there on the forward line for Team Sweden. And Joel Otto draws a defensive assignment along with Carpenter.
Well, this also gives Team USA the opportunity, however, to ice the puck without there being a whistle and can tick away some more valuable time on the clock en route to Team USA's victory.
Tommy Sandlin, along with Kurt Lindstrom, the assistant coach, and Bob Johnson looks on. A little concerned about the fact that Mr. Presley has put his team into a shorthanded situation on 4 occasions in this hockey game.
Well, one thing, it's giving Team USA an opportunity to practice their penalty killing.
And it's been pretty effective. Bobby Carpenter had a couple of chances killing penalties. And Langway makes the good defensive play there and shoots the puck out to center. Eldebrink now for K.Nilsson to Mats Naslund. Naslund sets it up. Here's the chance. There's the shot. Van Beesbroek left the rebound. Langway had a man tied up, but the puck was lying dangerously in front of the net. Karlsson doesn't shoot, gives it to Gustafsson. Here's the chance. Gustafsson in the slot could not handle it, and the puck is shot out to the line. Karlsson shoots it over towards Nilsson. Nilsson cross ice. Oh, and Naslund missed the open side.
Hatcher was guilty down there of committing himself to one man. He left that right side open.
Eldebrink up over the glass, or up over the crossbar rather. Naslund buzzing around. Here's another chance. Naslund into the slot area in front. Langway clears it out of harm's way. And the Swedes are buzzing around, getting a lot of shots. Eldebrink for Naslund. Kicks it back into the slot. Naslund takes the slash, sets it up. Here's the big shot. There's a chance off the outside of the goalpost. Nilsson, or Gustafsson rather, is checked, and Joel Otto has it. And Joel Otto clears it out and down the ice. 45 seconds left in the penalty to Wayne Presley. 5:55 to go in the third period. Sweden pressing on the power play. Here is Eklund working against Ramsey. Dumps it in towards Gustafsson. Can't get the return pass, and Ramsey made a good play and shot it out of the zone. 30 seconds left in the penalty. Eldebrink to Karlsson. In across the line, fights off Ramsey's check, throws it towards the side to Sodergren. Back to Eldebrink. There's a shot that just missed. Tommy Eklund now. Back out to the line, Eldebrink. Telvin, Michael Telvin, and Van Beesbroek got his glove on that and deflected it up over the crossbar, over the glass. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
Back, get things going together. Look, right in front of the net there. He put his man, Berkvist, down hard. And that's what I think the Los Angeles Kings are going to love to see here in Canada Cup.
Sundstrom is knocked flying. The puck comes out of the zone. And it looked like it wound up in the bench. And finally it's frozen along the boards by Telvin. And the play has been getting a little chippier in the last couple of minutes.
Well, all of a sudden Team Sweden has started to come on a little bit with some offense. Maybe too much, too late. However, they have caught Team USA standing flat-footed a little bit and started to force them to run around as well in their own end zone.
Interesting how this period has developed. Unofficially, the shots on goal are 12-3 in the period in favor of Sweden. And it's the first time in the hockey game that the Swedes have really dominated to that extent. Andersson now will try his luck, dumping it into the U.S. zone. Ramsey is after it there. Under 5 minutes to go in the hockey game. 5-2 for the United States. Broughton can't get it out. Broughton is checked. Mullen tries his luck. It comes to the line, but not out. Rundqvist. Here it is for Telvin. There's a shot. Van Beesbroek got a pad on it. Nilsson was cruising through looking for a rebound, and finally it's cleared out and down the ice, and here's Phil Housley after it. Housley, nice pass to Mullen. Here's a chance right in front. Housley could not handle it on the backhand. Great play by Housley to start it off, and the U.S. nearly got goal number 6. Johnson at the line. Suter fanned on it. Mullen got the loose puck. And Broughton just shoots it in behind the net as the U.S. team makes changes. 4 minutes to play in the third period. Nilsson now in the center ice area. Waiting for some of his teammates to get on the ice. Karlsson tried to shoot it into the zone. Chelios. Over to Suter. He can't handle it, but there's Bob Brook now. Across the line to center, gets it to Nyland. Chris Nyland to Fraser. Fraser backhands it. Lindmark let it go back into the corner. Brook shoots it back in. And the Swedes get it to the line. It's kept in by Brook. Now here's a chance. Fraser right in front. Nyland right on. Lindmark, big save.
Good play by Fraser and Nyland. Both guys get plenty of room out there. Fraser, a very intense winger. He was looking for Nyland. Watch, Nyland just gets that pass from Fraser. Did the right thing, too. Let it go right away. However, this time, Peter Lindmark was ready for him. And then Chris Nyland gets, well, ends up down on one knee, but tough man to knock down.
Tough line with Fraser and Nyland out there. Did you look at Chris Nyland?
Not only an intense guy, but a pretty comical team guy. I think he's played a fair number of tricks on his teammates in Montreal. We were talking about that intensity from Kurt Fraser. He had 182 penalty minutes himself last year. playing for the Chicago Blackhawks.
Here's a chance for Joel Otto. The puck comes right in front, and a good play there by L.Kарлsson as he played goaltender with Lindmark down and out of position. It's shoveled back behind the Swedish net. The Americans forcing the play now and have been for the last 40 seconds or so. Olczyk threw it back into the corner. Olczyk behind the net, looking to make a play. Fighting off the check of K.Nilsson. Now it's Tommy Eklund. He just shoots it out and down the ice. Langway has it at his own line. Over to Hatcher. Up to Olczyk. And now Anders Eldebrink on the ice for the Swedes. Long pass out to Magnus Rupe. Good move. And then he gets run in along the boards, and the Americans just clear it to the line. Kept in there by Albalin. Now it goes towards the side of the net. Hatcher down, can't get to it. Eriksson has it. Now it goes to Rupe, back out to the line. Rupe, big man, throws it into the corner. Goes looking for it there as well as the teammate is tied up. Rupe has it, can't do much with it. He's checked very effectively. Big traffic jam in front of Van Beesbroek. And the Americans finally control and shoot it out to center. Good physical play by that defense. Borderline illegal, but here's a giveaway now. LaFontaine into the corner. Right in front of the net. Lindmark cleared it away. There's a shot right back through the crease by Presley. And Gustafsson struggles in there in an attempt to control. Presley has it instead. Gustafsson gets control behind his own net. We're down to 1 minute and 50 seconds to play in the third period.
That's what makes Team USA pretty effective, Peter. They have got tough defense out there. When you've got Hatcher and Mike Ramsey out there, both guys enjoy the rough going.
Naslund hauled down, and Vladimir Schubert appears ready to let this game finish without calling any more penalties. Kelvin to P. Andersson. Works his way across the line, and we get an offside call as Eriksson couldn't keep it in at the line. 1 minute and 31 seconds left to play here in the third period. 5-2 United States.
Peter, L.Kарлsson definitely saved a pretty good scoring opportunity for Team USA back a while ago. He decided he was going to play net. And I don't know, put yourself in Team USA situation here. Now, Lindmark is out of the net. K.Nilsson decides he's going to play goal. 26, Olczyk there didn't have a chance to take a look. Had he seen that K.Nilsson was in the net, he might have just wound up and driven that puck with all the force he could, and he would have found out whether K.Nilsson wanted to play goal too long.
Nilsson shoots it towards the line. Sundstrom has it there. Sundstrom carries down the boards. Hatcher takes him in there. It comes back toward the line. Andersson can't keep it in. 1 minute to play in the hockey game. And Michael Telvin hustles back into his own zone. Icing is the call. I think the important thing about this USA performance, Gary, is that they've won the 2 hockey games that you can reasonably expect them to win. They have yet to play the Czechs, the Soviets, and the Canadians, but they've played 2 teams that they really had to hope they could beat to make the medal round, and they have done what they've had to do.
Well, Peter, that's the sign also of a good hockey club. Not only win the big games, but win the games that you should win or have an equal opportunity to win, and that's something that Team Sweden can't say after tonight's hockey game, but Team USA, by the looks of them out here tonight, they are going to give all teams some trouble here in Canada Cup.
Gustafsson's shot goes wide. Carpenter along the boards gets it out to center to Joel Otto. Eddie backhands it into the Swedish zone. Now the Swedes start. Sodergren at the line. And Otto takes over now for the United States. Works his way into the zone. Lindmark makes the save and clears it away from Otto. And we're down to 20 seconds left in the hockey game. Phil Housley. And Olczyk backhands it into the zone. LaFontaine is after it. J.Onsson gets there first. And the seconds tick off the clock. And the United States is going to win its second hockey game of this Canada Cup tournament with a 5-2 victory over Sweden. And John Van Beesbroek accepts the congratulations of his teammates. He made some big saves in the early period, and that kept his team in the hockey game. And after that, the Americans got something going. So the final score, the United States 5 and Sweden 2.